you imagine if there was a human being named Therm Scissor Punch?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
The Force of Others, a Star Wars podcast.
Hello there, and welcome to The Force of Others. I'm Matt Beutner.
I'm Zachary Owen Turner, and today we're talking about Star Wars Starfighter, and then we have a wonderful interview with Memeobi. Before we get into all of that, we're going to head straight into the mailbag with a question from Matt.
Brian Lawson.
Brian Lawson, I apologize. If you could have a Star Wars pet, what would it be?
See, I have a question follow-up. Does Grogu count as a pet?
No, Grogu is a sentient being.
Well, I mean, dogs have sentience. Right?
Grogu's like a child.
Yeah. Just saying, I want a little pet Jedi, dog. I mean, I'm tempted to... I have two choices that I can't decide between because I don't really love either of them. I like them, I don't love them. But like a Nyx...
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws, or after we saw the Danny Trejo scene on Book of Boba Fett of him talking about how Rancors are not like automatically ravenous monsters, which I don't buy, but I like the sentiment. I think it'd be really dope to ride a Rancor around who would mess with you. But I don't love either of those, really. I like them a lot. I don't love them. But Zach, what kind of pet do you want?
Yeah, so I was thinking Rancor when I first saw this question, but then I was like, how much does it cost to feed him? You know, like that is a high upkeep pet, you know? You gotta have a space for it, you know, otherwise it's gonna go, like, you know, I live in a city, it would just be Godzillaing around, you know? So I'm thinking smaller. I would love a Nyx style pet. I think that would be really cool. But Nyx looks kind of scaly, and I kind of want something fluffy. And you know, I have a cat, so I think I'd just have a Loth cat. You know, they're cool.
Cat.
Yeah. They're slightly different, but they're cool. They're not gonna kill me in my sleep. I don't really gotta worry if they're like a Dianoga or like a mini Sarlacc, or Wampas look smelly, you know. So I think I'd just do a little Loth cat or a you know, like, no, I don't want a monkey lizard. They're too slimy. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I think I'm just going Loth cat.
Yeah, that's a safe bet for sure. I'm thinking, I know what's going to happen is my Star Wars fan brain is going to turn on as soon as we're done recording, and I'm going to go, oh my god, this whatever monster from this episode of the Clone Wars, but I've got nothing right now. So, I don't know.
Lemurs!
Exactly. I might edit in my, holy crap, 2 a.m. realization of what pet I actually want into the podcast. And if I do that, I'll put it right here. But in the meantime, that's our answer to the question for this week. Thanks, Brian, friend of the podcast, for sending that in. The only reason Zach didn't know it is I forgot to put it in his show notes, so my bad. But if you have a question you want to hear us answer, put it in the comments below on here or any of our socials, or email it to forceofothersradio@gmail.com if you are old. But in the meantime, Zach, how was your week? I'm saying, it just, the people that we communicate with on email all seem to be at least, 33 years old. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
So, to be fair, that's not old, but it ain't really young. You know what I'm saying? Right. But in the meantime, Zach, how was your week, and what Star Wars adventures did you have this week?
Yeah, I had some more fantasy adventures than I had Star Wars adventures, because I went to I went to the New York Ren Fair, but I saw some Star Wars people there. There was a kid in full Scout Trooper armor that it looked like he had made himself. Like, it wasn't the pretty, polished. You could see where he had, sculpted it. Like, it was really cool. It was, gritty, you could kind of feel it. But I got 4th place at the costume contest for my wizard costume, which will pop in right here. We could show some pictures. I'll send that over. It was really fun. We went with a group of 15 people. A couple of people, it was their first Ren Fair, so we, watched the joust and the stage combat at the joust the second time, and, there was fake blood, and it was all really fun. Had some good food, walked around, threw some axes, did some arrow shooting, saw a falconry show that was awesome with owls and falcons and kookaburras and just amazing things. But Kai and I both bought a sword.
Ooh.
So, this is Kai's. You can see, very nice, very cute. And then I was very excited because I found in my budget a Zweihander.
Whoa!
Yeah, and it's really cool too because it has the leather on the bottom part of the sheath as well, which was historically also to like use as a hand in case you got up and close and personal, but also stopped rain from getting into the sheath, which is what made me fall in love with the sword at the Met, and actually was the inspiration for my tattoo.
Yeah.
So now I have a sword very similar to my tattoo. But yeah, it was cool. Saw lots of nerd. You know, anytime you get to hang out with nerdy people, it's really fun, and you know, it was a really good time. Good friends, good people, lots of Star Wars people here and there, like tattoos and other stuff, and it was a good time. But it was Time Travelers Weekend, so that's why you saw people in full Stormtrooper armor. So.
Time Travelers Weekend?
Yeah, so they do themed weekends at the New York Ren Fair. So they do a pirate weekend,
okay.
and then this weekend was Time Travelers Weekend, so you could do anything. Like, you could be from Star Trek. You could be... I saw a couple of Doctor Who's, you know, staying on theme with the podcast this week. But yeah, but yeah, that was my week. Lots of fun there. I am massively tired. Oh, and this is my wizard staff that a friend of mine made. Which you will see in the photo as well. And then Kai made my costume almost completely in a week. 2 big robes. So it's quite incredible, and a big shout out and thank you to her because it was really fun, and we matched, and it was cool.
Aww,
It was
gross.
Cute. Yeah.
Not gross. I'm just being dumb. Well, but I mean, my man,
yeah.
You being the man that you are, of the interest that you are, why didn't you go to Pirate Weekend?
Because I was a space pirate last year, and this is when everybody's schedules could like work together to go. So.
That's right. I remember that now. You had a little robo hand that you
Yeah,
made.
I have my which is actually a Star Wars robot hand. So, you know, I was
Right
like,
on.
oh, I'll use this for Time Travelers Weekend. But anytime I need a Star Wars costume, throw on that glove, I look like I have a Star Wars robot hand, and that instantly like sells.
Is it your right hand or your left hand?
It's my left because my right hand, I it's hard to pick things up with that glove. So I was like, we'll do left hand so I can actually be functional.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
How was your week?
Well, it was good. I don't know why I completely hit a speed bump there in my brain. It's very much 9:30 in the morning, everybody. But tonight, at the time of recording, Tuesday the 2nd, tonight my academy has their next big auditions for the year, Junior Theater Festival. The process starts now. We don't go to Atlanta till January, but we audition tonight. So very, very fun. Lots happening. But before I get to Star Wars, Jenny and I had kind of an impromptu nerd adventure this weekend. Cool. We were big fans. I say big fans. I like Chris Stuckman's YouTube movie reviews. And he came across my feed, and he was reviewing Jaws for the 50th anniversary, and I was like, oh, cool. And one of the things he said at the beginning was that they have currently re-released Jaws in theaters for the 50th anniversary, and I had no clue. And I looked over at Jenny like, what? And instantly it was a phone race, and we like looked it up. I think this was like Friday at some point. And so Saturday night, we went to go see Jaws on the big screen for the first time, at least that I know of for myself.
Yeah.
That movie is fantastic. This is a ridiculous thing to say. In my opinion, Jaws is Spielberg's best movie.
Wow.
Hot take.
More
And
so than E.T.?
I love E.T. Hey, Spielberg is in the running for best American filmmaker ever, right? I don't think anybody would say that that's crazy. It's hard to pick one, but he's in the conversation. But to me, I think Jaws is up there with, I'm going to space on all my examples now, but it is the perfect movie. It's up there with like Back to the Future and like maybe like The Green Mile and things where I would say that you might not like what it does, but the movie is successful at every single thing that it does in like every scene. So to me, that defines a perfect movie, and I think that's Jaws to a T. Just top to bottom, that movie rocks. But in my opinion, and on the big screen, it was awesome. and you forget that you don't really see the shark till you're a little over an hour into the flick because they couldn't get the damn shark to work. Everybody knows those stories to death. But anywho, but as for how Star Wars found me, it didn't really. But I wanted to talk about something. Silly as it is to talk about our own stuff, we have our first YouTube short that went over 60,000 views that is currently happening, which is, and I always feel weird about editing a clip that is a Star Wars celebrity talking to someone else, right?
Yeah.
Pulling a clip off of somewhere else. But Force of Others, we're about sharing different viewpoints. And at the end of the day, if I find something that's interesting that I haven't seen everywhere, I'm going to put a little edit on it and put it out. But it's Mark Hamill literally talking about, while he disagreed with Rian Johnson on what Rian did with the character in The Last Jedi, he committed completely to the role and to his job and to his craft and did everything that he could. And I guess surprising no one, but still surprising me, the amount of people that have commented that, like, yeah, whatever, Rian Johnson's trash, and similar things is baffling. I mean, I get it. The Last Jedi is currently the most, I don't even know, I guess contentious Star Wars movie maybe ever made. Now that everybody that saw the prequels when they were kids are grown and can talk about how much they love them. But, man, just wild. The opinions everywhere. There's no consensus. There's people that love that movie that say it's the best. There's people that say it's the worst. There's people that think Rian Johnson is the greatest filmmaker to touch Star Wars ever. And people that think he's the worst and should never make a movie ever again as long as he lives. And you can find it all in the comment sections of that video on our YouTube channel. And what's funny, on Instagram, we got someone that I did have to block for the first time.
Right.
And we haven't gotten any of that on YouTube yet. Knock on wood. But someone that, all of a sudden was talking about how women shouldn't have been in positions of power and yada yada and whatever else. It's like, oh, we found one. Bye-bye. So, anywho, but I wanted, Last Jedi has been talked about to death. We will continue to talk about it because it's a Star Wars movie and it all counts. But, Zach, here's an interesting challenge. Can you sum up how you feel about The Last Jedi in one sentence?
Without Canto Bight, I think it's a really great film.
Right on. That's a good take. I would say, I've said it before, but I think that it is the best directed Disney Star Wars movie, and it tells the story that it's telling so well, but I do not like the story that it's telling. So there you go.
And I do.
All right. Right on. We'll do our Last Jedi commentary track in about 2 years from now when that movie turns 10. But anyway, so if you have thoughts about The Last Jedi, leave it in the comments below, and I'm sure it'll make everybody happy. But moving on to a Star Wars movie that, as of right now, doesn't seem contentious. It just seems cool. We have a cast for Star Wars Starfighter.
Yeah.
They kind of surprisingly dropped that last week on what was the first day of shooting. And it's interesting. In a way, we know more about Starfighter than we do about Mando and Grogu.
Yeah.
Like, the only cast officially confirmed for Mando and Grogu is Brendan Wayne, Lateef Crowder,
Pedro
Pascal, and, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name. Lead of the Alien films. I'm spacing on her name.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. That's all that's officially confirmed. And that the character Zeb is in the movie.
Yeah.
Which we know from leaked footage. That apparently they showed that footage again at D23, and it's the same stuff. So just release it, guys. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. So first thing to come out for a Starfighter was this black and white image. I'll put that beneath us, but it appears to be Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray, who we're assuming are the two leads of this thing, sitting on a speeder, and it's black and white, which to me conjures up images of the Force Awakens cast announcement photo, which was also black and white. That was a major day, going back 11 years, when all of a sudden it was confirmed, what we all kind of thought, that Mark and Harrison and Carrie were back. But again, talking about this and not other stuff. So StarWars.com put out a little announcement. I'm going to read what Sean Levy had to say about this movie that he's getting ready to direct. In a minute, we're going to play a fun game. What we think will be fun is ridiculous, completely unwarranted speculation and predictions as to what each of these announced actors are playing. because we have no information, but it'll be fun. But in the meantime, about this movie, Sean Levy says, I feel a profound sense of excitement and honor as we begin production on Star Wars Starfighter. From the day Kathy Kennedy called me up inviting me to develop an original adventure in this incredible Star Wars galaxy, this experience has been a dream come true creatively and personally. Star Wars shaped my sense of what story can do, how characters and cinematic moments can live with us forever. To join this storytelling galaxy with such brilliant collaborators on screen and off is the thrill of a lifetime. Like I said, and then just, again, StarWars.com nailed down that it is going to be released theatrically on May 28th, 2027, right around the time of the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. But before we say anything else, Zach, do you have anything to say about this quote from Sean Levy?
Yeah, great quote. I added in one thing to my notes, which is they also announced the writer of the movie, Jonathan Troper, which I'd love to talk about in just a bit as well. But yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting that, we learned a couple of things here, right? We learned that Kathleen Kennedy called him to develop an original story. Very interesting. We also, the rest is just like, yeah, great. Seems happy. We've heard from Deadpool and Wolverine that he's a great collaborator, that he's really fun to be on set with. I mean, Sean Levy has proven himself as a filmmaker between Deadpool. Real Steel is one of my favorite movies of all time, as far as like feel-good kid movies. So if this has any sense of Real Steel in it, I'm going to be really happy. I know that movie didn't do great box office-wise, but it's a quality film. And then I'd love to talk about the picture that they released.
Sure.
Because I just got to shout out production design, right? Because you have the little paint behind Jonathan Gray, right? It's two like semi-painted ovals, but like something about that is so Star Wars to me, where it's just like, oh yeah, like you have to have this weird oblong shape, and then you just got like mechanical junk. It's like Greeblies for the wall. If you don't know what a Greebly is, it's when they were making like the Millennium Falcon, they would like take like little bits and like put them on, and it was like assembling all these different model kits and putting them together. So this is like wall Greebly perfection. And then the speeder is really cool. It's hovering, which is awesome. And you got your two leads. I think it's very well shot, very beautifully done. And I got hyped as soon as I saw it. I was like, no way, they've already released this. So yeah. Them's my thoughts.
Love it. Yeah, I'm stoked about this photo. I wish it wasn't in black and white. Let us see some of this stuff, man. But it's cool. It's very artsy, and it's a way to not have to light it perfectly and make it still look cool and give you some of that Star Wars feel. But I want to jump to this. What are your thoughts on Jonathan Troper? I don't know how to say your name, bud. But the scriptwriter.
I think it's really exciting. Have you seen The Adam Project?
Yes.
Okay, so he wrote The Adam Project, which, if you don't know, is one of Sean Levy's other movies with Ryan Reynolds, one of the other Ryans. And it's about this guy coming back in time, meeting his younger self to save his dad, basically. It's a really good feel-good movie where it's a older gentleman and a kid trying to save the day. Essentially, that one, it happens to be the same person. I don't think that's going to happen here because that would be too parallel. But he's also worked on C, which is the Jason Momoa blind warrior show on Apple TV. So he's worked on that. So we know he's written for some action. He's also written on Warrior and then Friends and Neighbors, which I hear is very good. I haven't seen it, but everybody that I've talked to who has been like, oh, this show, you have to start it. It'll just like suck you in. So as far as a writer goes, I'm very excited to see what he does. And the fact that he hasn't written any Star Wars is very cool to me. But he's still in that like sci-fi vein, like I feel like he understands the genre, and I'm very excited to see what he does with Star Wars. 'Cause Adam Project's just a good feel-good quality movie that has the Sean Levy takes of older gentleman, younger kid, whether that be son or adopted son or younger self. So
right on. Well, and similar vibe, just somebody else that got announced being a part of this thing. The cinematographer has been confirmed to be Claudio Miranda, who is the cinematographer that shot Top Gun Maverick and F1 racing movie that just came out earlier this year, if I remember correctly. And I mean, probably the best thing about Top Gun Maverick, not just that they're flying actual fighter jets and they filmed it, but just the look of the cinematography of that movie. It's awesome. And so once again, Top Gun Maverick is a Star Wars movie without being a Star Wars movie. But to jump off of what you're talking about, before we dive into the cast, about Jonathan, I'm going to call him Tropper because I don't know, whatever. About Jonathan Tropper and Sean Levy collaborating again. Sean Levy has always, going back to the earliest parts of his career, he has always told movies about kids interacting with older people and going on adventures. Going back to Cheaper by the Dozen, right?
Yeah.
20 years ago, right? Silly movies like that. I really like this vibe for Star Wars. I like this team up of Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray. But the rumor that has gone out as to what this movie's about, I think I mentioned it on the show last week or the week before, is that Flynn Gray is a young Force sensitive being protected by Ryan Gosling from other people, from a pair of villains. Daniel RPK, a very prolific leaker on Twitter, not always correct, but constantly putting out leaks that get shared everywhere. Yeah. But is that this movie is a kind of what we're saying without the Force sensitive thing, but a 15-year-old boy on a mission with his uncle, pursued by a duo of villains. And I've seen that go everywhere. That has popped up everywhere. Sometimes it has the Force-sensitive attachment. Sometimes it doesn't. But that sounds like the boy and uncle sounds like a Sean Levy story, especially on an adventure, right? So we're going to dive into the cast list, assuming that's what this movie is. And I think it could be one of two things. It could be Star Wars Starfighter. It's a young pilot being trained by an old pilot. Or Star Wars Starfighter. It's a young clueless Jedi kid being protected by a pilot.
Yeah.
Could be either way. But with both of those options, which I think would be very different movies, right? Let's do a stupid prediction, actor by actor, as to what we think they're doing. Everybody that got announced. So first up is, of course, Ryan Gosling. You know him. You love him. What's up, Zach?
And I want to play two games with this. I want to play good guy, bad guy, and fighter pilot, not fighter pilot.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I think that'd be
like
fun.
It.
You know?
Sure.
With our predictions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ryan Gosling, you know him, you love him. Zach, what do you think he is?
I mean, he's good guy, fighter pilot. He's the lead of the movie. I think he's going to be very Han Solo-esque. I see him kind of doing his, like, funny... He does do a very good... In his, like, comedy acting, I feel like he does it kind of Harrison Ford style, where it's like, I'm committed, I'm saying funny things, but I don't think they're funny. It's like, you know, especially, like, if you watch Fall Guy or stuff like that, I feel we're going to get that comedy action thing from him. Hopefully just bumped up a little bit on the seriousness, because I don't want him to go too wacky zany, but we know he can do both. We know he can do very serious and very funny. So any predictions for you?
I mean, good guy pilot. I think whether this movie has the Force angle or not, good guy pilot. I have seen it speculated that if there is the Force sensitive angle, he's not just a pilot. He's a survivor of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy.
Oh.
Like, he's the
Is that going to be the new Order 66?
Could very well be. The biggest thing that would keep it from happening is that Luke specifically says that he started his academy with 12 students. Yeah. You know? But... And
Kylo killed none of them.
Yeah, can you imagine if all 12 show up? Well, and we know that's not true. We know he killed at least a couple. But that's the only other speculation that I've seen that I want to mention. But I think he's a good guy pilot. Yeah. I think it's going to be limited to that, because especially a good guy Han Solo pilot type that knows nothing about the Force, if he's having to protect a young Force sensitive, that sounds very Star Wars to me and very classic cinema. Yeah. Right? He's like, I don't know how to help this kid.
I don't know how the Force works.
Yeah. The only other thing I'll say about Gosling, there has been, I'm sure there's other times, but there was one moment in a really bad movie that I remember where he showed something that I haven't seen anywhere else from him. He just showed so much rage and anger, and he was scary in this one scene in the movie Gangster Squad, which is a bad movie from like 2010 that I was so hyped for. I was like, yeah, it's like the Untouchables for a new generation. It was not. It sucked. But I forget he's confronting gangsters in it bombed in this public place, and I don't remember, and he's like stomping on one of them and screaming and stuff, and I was like, oh my god. But anyway, enough about Ryan Gosling. He is Knuff, as we know. We'll move into the new one of the unknowns, Flynn Gray, 14-year-old young actor. Got his head. Oh, and I'm going to put all their headshots up so that you can have any idea who we're talking about. But Zach, predictions on Flynn Gray.
Well, just a little bit about Flynn Gray. He recently was in Wednesday and Sherlock and Daughter. Doesn't have a ton on his IMDb because he is a young actor, but those were the two that stood out to me.
Don't forget, he was in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
Oh, Blood and Honey 2. I didn't know
they made a second one. Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
He looks like he could be related to Ryan Gosling, so good casting, I guess, if it is uncle thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I'm going to say not Starfighter. Good guy. Yeah. But I have no predictions other than that. I have to have a prediction. If he is force sensitive, I think that's cool. If he's not, I also think that's really cool. I think it'd be cool if we get a movie with just like the Force is kind of mentioned in the background, kind of although Rogue One, we haven't got one of those in a while. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say my prediction is that at some point he does something stupid that is the reason. I think he's already on a trip with Ryan Gosling, and then he if he is force sensitive, force pulls something, and that's where Matt Smith and Mia Goth go, hello. We're taking you, and that's what starts your adventure. But he does it, I think, stupidly out of not even thinking about it, That's my prediction. Okay. What's your prediction?
I think, well, again, it's a good guy, pilot. I think that it's going to be one of two things, this movie. I'm going to keep saying this. It's either going to be he's a force sensitive and Ryan Gosling is protecting him, or he's the R2-D2 from Star Wars from A New Hope, right? He has the plans, or he has the MacGuffin that the bad guys are chasing. He's the one that knows the information or something, right? And he's got to deliver it somewhere. I could see it going either way. I'll say that for the end, because I have a hope for this movie that I could go either way about. But all right, the next announced actor, you know him, you love him, Matt Smith. You know him from Doctor Who, The Crown, House of the Dragon, and a bunch of other stuff.
Morbius.
There you go. The villain in Morbius, which I have not seen. And famously cast and then not used in The Rise of Skywalker. So, Zach, thoughts on Matt Smith?
Yeah, I mean, somehow Palpatine returned again. No, I don't think he's going to play Palpatine. I think bad guy for sure. I think they've already announced that. I think fighter pilot. And I'm hoping not force sensitive. I'm hoping because I hope we don't get any Sith in this, because Rey is supposed to have brought balance again. So if we immediately go, and guess what, we're back to bad guy Sith, then I would be a little muffed about that. But yeah. I think he's gonna be great. I think it will still be a master and apprentice relationship between him and Mia Goth, but I hope it's not Sith, and that's my prediction.
Yeah.
You?
So you kind of alluded to it. The one rumor that has all but been confirmed is that Matt Smith and Mia Goth are the villains, going off of the leaked plot synopsis, being pursued by a duo of villains, these being the first 4 actors announced, because spoilers, Mia Goth's coming up next. It sounds like that's who this is. So again, there's 2 versions of this movie could be. There's 3 versions, but there's 2 big ones, that either Flynn Gray's a pilot or Flynn Gray's a force sensitive. Let's just entertain this for a moment. What if Matt Smith is playing a Palpatine clone? I don't think that's what it is, and I think that could be really, really dumb. But what if he was? I'm just putting it out there. I would think that was a bad move, but it's possible.
If he is, then we get a really great villain for the Rey movies.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, because the other prevailing rumor, we're all operating off of rumors right now, but the rumor that it's also is that Star Wars is all of these standalone movies that are coming out are, if one of them hits, they're going to try and make it a launching pad for kind of the next shared universe, right? And if you want to talk about taking big swings, the biggest swing you could take in my opinion, is making him young Palpatine.
Yeah.
I also think that would be the most reductive and lame thing, potentially.
I mean, it would go
If it
straight
hits
into
and it's
90s
amazing, it
clone
would be
saga,
awesome.
you know?
Yeah. Oh, sure,
But-
sure. And it would be more Dark Empire. Just serving up more Dark Empire. If it hits and it was amazing, that would be great, and I'd be so happy they did it, but I don't know. It's either that or he's a pilot. He's an ace pilot.
I think that would be cool if he's like...
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read Alphabet Squadron, but it's a really fun book, and they talk about they know the other pilots not by their names, but by what they call them, because they're like, oh, that's their ace. That's that guy, and they always fly together. You know, I think it would be cool to get some of that in here.
The biggest reason that I think that might be what he is if you got two heroes and two villains, not always, but a lot of the time, you got them squaring off against each other. So it would be Ryan Gosling versus Matt Smith, and Flynn Gray versus the next one, Mia Goth, who I don't know that I have ever heard of before this casting announcement.
Well,
but she's
maybe I should take this one.
Go ahead.
Because I do know her. She has rose to fame from horror movies. She's in Pearl, X, and Maxine, in which she plays the same lineage of characters. So she plays grandmother, mother, and daughter in 3 different movies across 3 different time periods. And I guess they're just cursed because something bad happens to each one of them. But she's also about to be in Frankenstein. I think she's playing Mrs. Frankenstein?
I don't know.
And she's about to be in The Odyssey with. So she's about to blow up, like huge.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now back to you. Sorry.
You're literally fine. I'll just jump into my prediction. My biggest prediction is that I think that she's the villain that is going to be more directly squaring off against Flynn Gray, as silly as that sounds. I don't know. Again, it's either she's Matt Smith's Force-sensitive apprentice, or she's going to be different than him in some way. My biggest prediction is that Matt Smith is the composed, thinking villain, and she is the wrathful, like, crazy villain. Yeah. She's the one with the knife. She's the one stabbing people and stuff. And for who I think she's going to stab, we'll get to that later.
I think she's going to be the happy one. The, like, hello, so great to see you. You know, like that kind of crazy.
I get, like the unhinged. But what do you think she's doing?
I agree. I think she's, you know, underneath Matt Smith's tutelage. Would that be apprentice or fighter or whatever? My biggest hope is that these two are not part of the First Order. I hope that they're part of something completely different and new. I would like to see some new. I want some new in this movie, and I'm hoping we get lots of new. But that's my biggest thing. Also, interestingly enough, she was announced before Matt Smith was. She was attached to the project before.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's not the Master Apprentice thing that we're thinking, but maybe it's the opposite. I don't know.
And again,
the age
she
would
wasn't
suggest one wise, but
she wasn't announced until this announcement. She was leaked and rumored earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is the first announcement Lucasfilm, the first piece of information Lucasfilm has put out about Star Wars Starfighter outside of when they announced it at Celebration. Cool. In it was either April or May of this year. I don't remember right now, but cool. Yeah, this is the first like confirmation of anything other than Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, again, bad guy pilot for sure.
Oh yeah, or bad guy something. Even if it's a pilot movie, it wouldn't surprise me if she's bad guy assassin and Matt Smith is the pilot. You know, but next cast member, Aaron Pierre. Not as well known as the others. Biggest credits, he was the voice of Mufasa in Mufasa the Lion King, which I did not see. And he's getting ready to play Jon Stewart Green Lantern, baby!
Yeah, talk about somebody who's about to blow up.
But of the DCU actors that want to be in Star Wars, he has beaten David Corenswet, and I'm wondering how angry Corenswet's going to be about that Aaron Pierre beat him to the punch. But Zach, predictions for Aaron Pierre.
Yeah. Other big things too. He was in Krypton. If you're speaking of other nerd stuff, the sci-fi movie about Superman's dad, series. He was also in Rebel Ridge and Underground Railroad. So definitely, you know, up and coming. But no, I think he's gonna be good guy pilot. I think he's gonna be, you know, if Ryan Gosling is Rogue One, I think he's Rogue Two. I think he's the confidant. Dude's jacked. He has that like military look to him already. And he's played a Marine, I think, before a couple of times. So I think it'd be I think he's fully good guy, buddy, secondary male lead on the good side.
Yeah,
but
I see that.
I do see him maybe doing my prediction, wild swing. He sacrifices either himself or his ship to save them.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Wild prediction. Could be completely false.
I dig it. I like the wildness. But moving on to people that I have not really heard of. Simon Bird.
You have not said your prediction.
Oh, I agreed. I think he's a pilot. I think he's flyer number 2.
Yeah.
If Ryan Gosling is gold leader, he's gold 2.
Yeah.
But next cast member, Simon Bird. He's a primarily UK actor and director, most well known for the In-Betweeners 1, 2, and 3, which I haven't even heard of any In-Betweeners, much less 3 of them. But I'm going to go ahead and say I think this man is a droid.
Oh, really?
He strikes me as kind of silly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think he's probably he might be somebody's R2 unit.
I think he is the man in the van. To take like if you do heist movies, I think he's gonna be the one like being like, okay, here's your coordinates. Yeah, no, this is what I figured out about Mia Goth and Matt Smith. I think he's their tech guy.
Yeah, I dig it.
But good guy. I'm feeling very good guy vibes from this guy.
Good guy. I would say for sure. Good guy. I don't think he's a pilot.
I think he could be, but I doubt. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But next up, somebody I've heard of only slightly from kind of our theater lives, Jamail Westman. He originated Alexander Hamilton on the West End production of Hamilton. He's primarily a theater guy. Does not he has some film credits, plenty, but not as many as some of the others. But taller guy, kind of an imposing presence. Zach, thoughts on this guy?
I'm torn between good guy, bad guy on this one. I think it could go either way. But I definitely think pilot. I think that one is for sure. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna go good guy because I think the next guy is definitely bad guy. But I'm gonna go good guy pilot on this guy just based off of looks. He was in Identicals, Anne Boleyn, and Good Grief for some film credits. But yeah, I don't know much about him, and I don't know his work, so just going completely based off of looks.
Right on, 100%. Coming up next, kind of the same vein, Daniel Ings, known for The Gentleman, Lovesick, The Crown. He had a bit role in The Marvels.
Yeah.
That I don't even... Tyrone was the character's name. I say bit role. He was in a couple scenes, right? I watched that movie one time.
He was also in Sex Ed, which is also a great Netflix show.
Okay, yes. Jenny's watching that right now. And I come in and out of the room sometimes. That checks out. I'm gonna jump to it. I'm gonna say bad guy, not a pilot.
I agree. I think he's the opposite of the tech guy. I think he is either if they're doing an Empire or something like that, I think he is the like captain of whatever ship they're on, or like underneath Matt Smith, but like running operations either on the ground or on a ship carrier. He gives very imperial vibes. And also in The Gentleman, he on Netflix, he's a bad guy. Like he the picture on his IMDb is him in a chicken costume shooting a gun like crazy, which is amazing. Is an amazing imagery, and I hope we get something in that vein because he looks like somebody who could go unhinged, and he looks very imposing. I'm excited if he is a bad guy, and hope he is. If he is a good guy, great.
Yeah,
maybe
could
he's
also.
a spy.
I was gonna say, or could also be on the droid alien train.
True.
Could be. Same with Simon Bird, right? Yeah. Same with really any of them. We don't know. Aaron Pierre could be a Wookiee. Who knows? But I'm just being ridiculous.
Wookiee pilot.
But and I want to point out, we have gone through these actors in the order that they were listed on the Star Wars on the StarWars.com listing. But last but not least at all, Amy Adams. You know her. You love her. I'm going to go ahead and say this is the prediction that I feel the most strongly about. in the Disney tradition, she's the mom that dies early on, starting off the movie, and I think that Mia Goth kills her.
Oh, cool prediction.
Straight up. I think that happens early in this movie.
You think she's Flynn Grey's mom?
Yes, 100%. I think that's been rumored. I think that's come out as rumors. But again, not officially announced. But I'm looking at this going, you got a star like Amy Adams listed beneath, no offense to any of these people, but beneath people with less star power. Yeah. I think she dies early or is severely incapacitated, and she's in a back to tank, and they're racing to finish the mission that she couldn't or something, and hoping to get back to her.
Yeah. That scratched my brain a little bit. If you don't know who we're talking about, Amy Adams has been nominated for 6 Oscars, including The Arrival, she was in Enchanted, The Fighter, Batman and Superman. I mean, if you don't know who Amy Adams is, you do.
arguably a bigger star than Ryan Gosling, I would say.
Arrival that's what I'm saying. One of my favorite movies of all time. It's so good.
For her to be at the bottom of this listing, I know I don't want to make a big thing out of nothing, but I think that's telling.
I think it also could be sandwiching. You know, you're like, big star, big star, big star, big star, for the announcement. I think my initial reaction was that she was going to be a general of some kind. And maybe I could see her being the brother or the brother-sister relationship with her and Ryan Gosling. But I viewed her as like a general, Leia-esque type thing. But I love the idea that she might be... that it might kickstart everything off. I think that's a really good prediction. I also think that young Flynn Grey could do the thing where it's like, oh, I'm pissed off at mom, I'm going to go hang out with my uncle, and then uncle gets in big trouble not realizing that young Flynn Grey is there in the back seat of his ship, and then it's her trying to find her kid while the bad guys are trying to find Ryan Gosling.
I like that. And that because then
if we
that
don't
would
go
be
so morbid.
Yeah, but then that would be a story of Ryan Gosling having to choose his heart of gold and protect this kid over whatever money or whatever thing he has stolen from whoever these people are. Yeah. I'm excited about this movie. It's because it's funny that I'm excited about it. We know nothing. We know nothing at this point. But just going off of the scriptwriter and the director and the cast, I'm gonna be curious to see what the final budget totals are for this as opposed to Mando and Grogu, because I'll maintain this forever. I'm not trying to say that they're pushing one more than the other, but this feels like a proper attempt at a Hollywood blockbuster. Yeah. And Mando and Grogu is, you know them, you love them, you've seen them on TV. We're gonna give them a movie now, The Mandalorian movie. You know what I mean? Which I'll say for forever. They announced those 3 movies at Celebration, going back to 2023, right before the entertainment strike happened, where no one could work on anything for 9 months. And then coming out of that, they're like, okay, we got to get something going. Favreau, do you have your scripts written for season 4? Yeah. You want to make it a movie? Sure. And in the meantime, they're scrambling, trying to pick up the pieces on the other stuff that they announced. I'm not trying to poo-poo anything that they've done. But I will never believe that Mandalorian and Grogu was ever going to be a movie without the entertainment strike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this feels like a proper attempt, again, not to trash on anything, but this feels like a prototypical attempt at a studio blockbuster. A movie with a kind of back-to-basic story, I'm guessing, full of movie stars, with an unknown, pseudo-unknown, Flynn Grey, leading the way. Yeah. It also wouldn't surprise me if, even though this just happened, if it's very similar to Skeleton Crew.
I was also thinking that. I hope it's different enough.
Me too, but
I love Skeleton Crew, but I don't want to watch, I don't want a movie of it again. Do something new. Skeleton Crew was great because it did something new. So do something else new,
Last absolutely ridiculous will not happen prediction.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling's playing Neil from Skeleton Crew.
Oh, come on.
You heard it here first, kids.
No, it's not true. We see the picture.
Hey, I'm just saying. this isn't happening, but I'm just saying, if they can make the Infinity War trailer with Hulk in the shot, and Hulk never shows up in that movie, they can absolutely take a black and white photo of Ryan Gosling without his prosthetics on.
I don't.
I'm not being serious, Zach. They're not doing it. I'm just being dumb. But I'm going to keep saying it. Ryan Gosling is playing Neil until he's not, as far as I am concerned. But you got anything else on all this Starfighter stuff?
These are a lot of humans, so I'm hoping we get a lot of aliens, and I'm hoping we get a lot more aliens. That's what I'm.
Well, they're going to be. Go ahead.
No, I mean there's other cast members, but I'm hoping we get some like leads that are also aliens. You know, I hope it's not just a all human movie, because Star Wars is cool when it's different and fun. And I know that all of the fighter pilots in A New Hope were human, but we're past that. Like we're way past A New Hope. Like, give me some cool aliens. That's my hope. But we'll see. I don't think any of these people are playing aliens, except for maybe the guy with the glasses. But
well, to be fair, I mean, you know, everybody's got to be played by a human. So
no, for sure. But these are all people that I think are going to have their faces in the movie, rather than being in prosthetics. You know,
I'll for sure give you, I think, Ryan Gosling, unless he's playing Neil. He's not. Ryan Gosling, Flynn Gray, Amy Adams, Matt Smith, Aaron Pierre, I would say kind of for sure we're going to see their faces. Everybody else I could honestly see going either way. They could be in some kind of prosthetics or or voicing and mo-capturing. I don't know. Could be any number of things.
You know? One of them, who we know, a wild prediction. Amy Adams is a Bothan.
So we are reading the Heir to the Empire trilogy right now and wondering where the Bothans are in canon. Yeah. But okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start to head us into the interview cantina. We got Memeobi on the show today. We went through our normal interview questions, find out what Star Wars means to him, and we ended up doing some deep dives on his love for the Phantom Menace and the creatives behind Star Wars. So after that, I'm going to throw it over to our interview with Memeobi. Okay, and we are here in the interview cantina with new friend of the podcast, Memeobi, on Instagram, and you can listen to him on his podcast, Memeobi's Galaxy. So how are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. I just got into a new house. I just moved in in the last 3 or 4 days. So everything is not quite set up and it's a little bit hectic, but we are here and we're making it happen.
When we've been trying to make it happen for a bit. Schedules are the worst.
Yeah, that is true. There's a lot of schedule changes. I was going to be on a trip to Texas at one point and do a recording from a hotel room, and now, anyways, surgeries and stuff. So it's. I'm in recovery currently. If anyone cares, to have double hernia surgery, but I'm doing good. We're doing good.
It's wild. If only back to tanks were real, the recovery would be much faster.
Oof, I wish.
Well, but I noticed you've got a Jar Jar set up behind you.
I do have my 7-foot-tall Jar Jar Binks in the background. This is my guest bedroom, so all my guests have to deal with Jar Jar. He's my pride and joy. One of the best days of my life was when I found him and brought him in the family.
I think I saw something on your Instagram. It was you convinced your lady to let you get the Jar Jar?
Yeah, so I cut up audio clips of her saying that I could buy it out of context. That way I could hold up in a court of law. No, it's funny enough. When I actually got it, I didn't know I was going to get it until 10 minutes before. I just happened to be in Boise, Idaho, and I was driving along, and someone said, "Hey, look, dude, here's a Jar Jar Binks statue that's way cheaper than you've ever seen." And I was like, "Sweet, I'm 10 minutes away," and I went and grabbed it. So 10 minutes before, I didn't know I was going to get it. I called my wife. I'm like, "Hey, this is happening." She's like, "Okay." And now I have a 7-foot-tall Jar Jar Binks statue that stares at you.
I was going to say, the funniest part is it's in the guest room. So,
yes.
And I guess, have you been in this house long enough to have any guests stay over?
No, but there are guests coming this next weekend.
Are they Star Wars fans?
No.
Have you warned them about this Jar Jar Guardian they're going to have?
I think most people that would come to my house know that I have it. I don't know if they know it's in the bedroom. But they'll be fine. They can put a sheet over it if they need to or whatever. It's fine.
Is it facing the bed as they sleep?
No. It's facing it's in parallel with them.
Right
It's facing you. It's facing the webcam right now perfectly. He is
Yeah,
dead.
yeah, yeah.
He is eyeing it. He's eyeing
He
it.
is. It is haunting. Because it looks like any moment he's going to start moving, and Ahmed Best's going to come out of the costume.
I wish someday I'll get that interview.
Well, so I gotta before we go into the interview
Yeah.
proper, so you're a Jar Jar Binks guy.
Yeah. So episode 1's my favorite Star Wars movie of all time.
Cool.
For sure. I love episode 1. It's like all the merch I have is episode 1.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's definitely episode 1. Star Wars is for sure my thing. Obviously, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. But no, yeah. I'm going to get Ahmed Best on my show one of these days. It's going to happen.
Awesome. Speak it into existence, and the Force will make it happen.
Yes.
But one other question again before we go into the interview proper.
For sure.
So what made you decide to get into Star Wars content creation?
So, okay, it's 2020 probably is the answer that a lot of people give, I would say, and definitely the answer that I give as well. So it was 2020. COVID had just started. I was kind of bored, didn't have much going on, didn't have kids yet. And I was like, I'm just going to make a meme account. Like, I got nothing else going on. Like, why not? So I started just reposting memes from like iFunny and like Reddit and like not really caring, just kind of doing it. And then some of my friends sent me my own page, like, hey, you might like this. I'm like, haha, bet that guy's a pretty cool guy, whoever runs a cool page like that. I came up with the name. I just looked around at other like pages, saw what they were like called, and then tried to come up with something unique, come up with a unique like picture for my profile picture. And I started just going for it. I started just like every single day I posted a meme every day for like the last 5 years, not missing anything. And then I've slowly grown it into, I have a podcast now, and then like making like videos and reels and like just funny stuff, and just like kind of growing it and see where it's going. And it's gone some pretty cool places. Honestly, I've gotten to do some pretty interesting things because of my page. But now, we're up to like, I don't know. I think we're at 60 something K.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I think
sure.
it's. I mean, honestly though, I've like really plateaued. In the last like month, I've gotten like none, like zero. I'm talking like it has been even. 60.7 thousand followers, which is insane. Insanity.
I mean, at this point, we've got 547 on Instagram. So,
dude.
60,000 ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's
not.
huge.
It's not. No, it is. And I didn't think it would happen, but it was just consistency and then trying to grow. I mean, I just went for it. I wish I would have started back when not Rise of Skywalker. What am I trying to say? Force Awakens came out. I thought about it back then because that was the time. That's when you became a star. Like I would be the biggest by now if I did that. But hindsight,
Oh, we've all had the same thought. My co-host and I, we've been friends for 10 years, and we're longer than that now. Whatever. Either way, we joke that this podcast is 10 years in the making. And then finally I was just like, hey, we're both busy, but I don't care. We're going to just yap about Star Wars once a week.
Yep.
But anywho, okay. So the whole, I told you on Instagram, kind of the whole point of this show is to get to know as many Star Wars fans as possible.
Yep.
The force of others and such. So diving into our proper interview questions.
I'm
ready. Where were you when you first saw Star Wars, or what's the first Star Wars memory you have?
Yeah, so mine is I was pretty much born into it, right? So I'm the youngest of 7 children, and I have four older brothers. Yeah, sorry, did you just compute that?
Yeah. I was like 7. Wow.
Yeah. My mother and father had 7 children, all homeschooled. We lived on a farm. Cool. My dad delivered me by himself with no midwife. They didn't call her on purpose, just because he thought he could do it, and he did. So like. Very like sheltered homeschool life, right? But we had Star Wars. So my earliest memory, besides just like toys being in the house, was my brothers were up watching Empire Strikes Back, and I was probably like 2.5, and probably I have really really early memories. I crawled in, I hid behind the couch, and I watched Darth Vader and Luke fight on Bespin, on Cloud City, and it was pretty magical. And then pretty much like. Everything was Star Wars after that. Like all our games were Star Wars. Like everything we did was Star Wars. Like I broke my arm playing Star Wars. Like it was our life. So yeah, pretty much raised into it. My older brothers were more into it originally. I'm now more into it for sure.
Yeah,
I have surpassed them. First they were the teacher, and now anyways.
There you go. You go.
It definitely like my dad bought us all Episode 1 hats, and like we were just Star Wars was the movie that we would watch like all the time.
Cool. Right on. Yeah, it's the Yoda quote that I always get wrong, but your brothers, your teachers, they are what you grew beyond.
Yes.
Because now you are the master, and they are but the
Yes.
learner. But well, right on. So that's a wild first thing to see from Star
Yes.
Wars.
Yes, it is. It was intense, but it was great.
And
No,
just
yeah.
that's funny. At 2.5, you know the big twist.
Well,
Most
I
people
didn't.
know.
So that I didn't watch all the way to the twist at that point. I
Okay.
mean, I think I just knew because you can't get away from it when you're in a Star Wars family. People just talk about it. I'm currently trying to do that with my kids. I mean, they're only 3, so like we'll see if it gets there. But like I have like the Star Wars kids books. They're like about Darth Vader and like if he was raising like Luke and Leia and stuff like that. So we'll see if we can get to that point. But I'm hopeful that I can let them see that twist.
Right on. Right on. I love it. Well, so if you had to pick one out of all the characters in Star Wars,
sure.
who is your favorite hero?
So it's just gotta be Luke. It's just gotta be Luke Skywalker. I would, in my mind, I would lean towards like Anakin and Obi-Wan because I like the prequels more. But Luke, I just love the story of Luke. And then also, I was really big into like the extended universe and books like that. So Luke and just everything he's been through, and then him and like Mara Jade and him and his like son being outcast in the later books. There's something about it that's just so. It's like nostalgic and it's just cool. I don't know. Luke Skywalker, just his whole arc, and then maybe turn to the dark side. Like I feel like there's more stories about Luke than there are about some of the other characters, and I've had him longer in my life, if that makes sense. Like he's always been there, and I've never been like a Han guy. He's too gruff. I never like. I like Han, obviously, but Luke has been the guy that like he feels good. He's like he always perseveres. Well, he sometimes perseveres over evil. He sometimes doesn't. Do dumb things. It depends which version you watch. But
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you, so we'll steer right into the skid.
Yeah.
We have mixed opinions on it in this podcast, but
For
where
sure.
are you at kind of old Legends Luke versus modern canon Luke?
well, they're just in different. Well, so first off, they're in different parts of my brain. They're just different Lukes, and I'm happy with that. And I can think of like I talk to so many people, and they're like, well, because of this movie, I can't look at Luke the same anymore. It's like, okay, or you could, and you could just. I don't know. That's how I do it. Like, I love Star Wars, and I love all of Star Wars, and I will watch every single thing that Star Wars puts out, and I'll probably enjoy it. If I wasn't on like social media, I wouldn't know that people hated certain things as much as they do. Like The Acolyte, just as an example, I liked it, but like,
Yes, we did too.
obviously, the sequels, in my opinion, are weaker, but like, are they bad? I don't know. Hard to say. Pretty much, okay. Like, I don't like The Last Jedi a lot. That's the one that gets me. But like Rise of Skywalker, I was fine with. Yeah, it's gimmicky, but I had like honestly no problems initial watching through it. And it's funny because I think I just did a poll recently, and Rise of Skywalker came out on the bottom of the one that people hated more. And I just always forget that. I'm like, this is so weird to me. Probably because Last Jedi, anyways. Probably because The Last Jedi ended up doing like something at least unique, I guess. I don't know. People are so confusing to me. I cannot keep track. But no, obviously I love Legends, and I've played the games, and I've read not all the books. I'm working through most of them, but like in my mind, it's just a different thing. It's just we have the movies, and then we have, if you want extra stuff, you can have extra stuff, and I'm happy with that. And I wish more people could like take that as a way to live their life and just be like, oh, there's different areas. It doesn't have to ruin your childhood, guys. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with basically everything you said. What I always say about Last Jedi is that I think it is a beautifully made movie.
For sure.
Just the story that it's telling, I don't really like.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
So, But yeah, and all the same stuff about Luke. He's been probably, I mean, I loved him when I was a kid just because he was the first hero I ever had, right?
Yeah.
And then I grew up, and the whole him choosing pacifism at the end of the original trilogy, or to a degree,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Throwing his weapon away, and that's what makes him a Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my favorite things in all of Star Wars.
Cool. It's cool.
So yeah, there you go. But, okay, so to get the other side
Yes.
of this whole Force thing, if you had to pick one villain, who's your favorite villain in the whole franchise?
That's pretty. That's a pretty big question. I don't know why it's such a big question. Because there's so many good villains like Darth Maul. Like if it was just episode 1 Darth Maul, I would never choose Darth Maul, right? But since we have Clone Wars, Darth Maul is such a solid character that like has so much depth and so much, I don't know, so interesting. And then like I don't think I'd count Boba Fett as like a villain really. I don't know. He's just a bounty hunter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would. It's got to be Darth Maul. I'm guessing it has to be. It has. Like I did the whole thing and said it might not be, but no, it's like Vader's great. I love Anakin's story. I love Skywalker. I love the whole thing, but it's just not on the level of Darth Maul. Just because we have the show, just because we have Clone Wars and we have Rebels, and like we get so much, and he has so many monologues, and just so like I don't know. There's something about Maul that just is so cool, and it just really does it for me. As a villain, it really he hits all the key points in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. So then, I mean, the easy teed up question: how excited are you for Shadow Lord next year?
Oh, I'm stoked. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, it's hard for me to think. For some reason, it's hard for me to remember that's happening. Like I keep up on all like the news, but I ended up just like kind of forgetting what's coming out when, because my mind is so 2027. Because celebrations and everything. But
oh yeah.
so like and I'm thinking about going to Tunisia because there's like a solar eclipse over Luke Skywalker's homestead.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and that's
dude.
going to happen in 2027?
Yeah, it's in August 2027. I just did my 2-year video about it. I'll do another one next year. Yeah. So Tunisia, August, middle of summer. Me and my friends are thinking about going to Tunisia and stand where Luke stood and watch a solar eclipse.
I mean, the 50th anniversary of Star Wars,
Yeah.
and there's a solar eclipse over the place where, like, Mark Hamill did Binary Sunset.
Yep.
You know all of this, but
Yep.
holy crap. Okay.
Yeah. And
Holy crap.
there's a lot of people that are planning on going.
Yeah.
Some bigger, not bigger names, but there's like some cool collectors and stuff I know that are planning on going. Yeah. So my mind is so 2027. I kind of forget. Oh, yeah, the Shadow Lord's coming. Yeah. Darth Maul show, and like, I probably got to make episodes about that and content. But I'm very either in the moment or 2027 right now, and I'm like I haven't thought about Mandalorian Grogu like hardly at all. I just kind of I don't know if I need to. Like I don't know what I should be thinking about if I want to, because I kind of go back and forth. I'm like, should I overthink things? Should I make way too much content, or should I just kind of like? Because part of me wants to just consume and be a consumer and not a content creator a lot of times.
Yeah. That's the weird thing about being a Star Wars content creator is every now and then you need to kind of, I found it myself, have to turn my podcaster brain off and just enjoy Star Wars, because it's kind of the whole thing, right?
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to have a big year next year. Mandalorian and Grogu, Ahsoka Season 2, and Shadow Lord on top of whatever else shows up.
Yep.
But, okay, so we got your favorites of the big hitters. Mm-hmm. Favorite hero, favorite villain. Who's your favorite random alien background character, your favorite glup shitto, as the internet likes to say?
Well, Jar Jar Binks doesn't count because he's a main character.
100%.
I would say, I think the one I definitely gravitate towards the most is probably Max Rebo, realistically.
Cool.
I even like growing up, before I even knew who he was, like my brother had the action figure of him, and it's back when he had legs, because sometimes he has legs, sometimes he doesn't. No one can decide. But yeah, the little blue keyboard elephant guy from Jabba's palace, and then he shows up in Book of Boba Fett, and like it's cool, and like he has so much backstory about his band, and then he was supposed to murder Jar Jar. Not Jar Jar. He was supposed to murder. What was I trying to say? He's trying to murder Jabba the Hutt.
That's right.
On the barge, but he didn't show up that day. And it's like there's a lot going on with the guy. He has a cool aesthetic. He's a blue elephant guy. I don't know. And Maximilian is his real name. Like it's a cool. it's kind of he's kind of a neat dude, and he's kind of like he's just vibing. People are dying around him, and he's just chilling, playing the keyboard, just doing his gig. I don't know. There's something about him that I've always really really enjoyed.
As happy as I was that they brought him back for Book of Boba Fett, I was so annoyed that they blew him up again.
But he wasn't there that day.
Was he not there that day again?
They specifically showed his keyboard empty.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. When I've only watched it once, but I'm pretty sure he was specifically not there. I think Star Wars knows. I think they know not to do it.
They just know that the day that he doesn't show up to work, everybody's getting blown up.
They're
For sure.
they're waiting for his standalone film. I'm waiting for it. I'm holding out hope. Just all the background characters hang like the Max Rebo Band like series about them like doing music throughout the galaxy. I mean, I'll watch it.
It would have to be like a Blues Brothers type thing
Yeah.
of we're on a mission from God. We're putting the band
Yeah.
back together. But starring Max
100%.
Rebo and Cy Snoodles.
Yes.
If she's alive still.
And Droopy McCool. And I forget the other guy's name, but
Yeah, I don't know. But we'll get Figrin and Dan in the modal nodes, and we'll
Yes.
throw them in there, and it'll be a
Yes.
big giant band. Okay, so now that we've pitched our Star Wars road tour band
yes,
movie,
yes.
totally different question. Mm-hmm. If lightsabers were real
Sure.
and you had one, what color would it be?
So it's a pretty easy question, right? There's not too many options. Not blue. That's too basic.
Okay, fair.
But not purple because that's too. That's Mace. I can't take that from him. It's got to be just green. It's just
Cool.
green. Like that was Luke's in after like, the end of the trilogy. It's like Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn is like my second favorite probably. He's just such a cool, solid character, and he has green. I don't know. There's something about green that I think is just. I don't know. It looks better. I don't know. I like green better.
Yeah.
Blue. It's just everybody's got blue. That's all. And then yellow. I don't want to be a guard. I don't want to be like whatever the guys are in the temple having the yellow lightsabers. I don't know. And I don't need red. That's just. I'm not a Sith. I'm not a bad. Just because there's a Sith behind me, Jar Jar, just doesn't mean I like Sith.
Misa, always the Phantom Menace.
That's the best line.
It's so fun.
Also, ad lib.
It's so
Did you hear
fun.
that?
Oh, yeah.
That's such
Yeah.
a good. I love that.
Because I think he said at Celebration, Ahmed Best,
Yeah.
that he'd been planning on improving that in something for
Yeah.
years. He was like, there's going to be a day. And then it
Hey,
finally
I will
arrived.
say, way back in the day, he said he would never play Jar Jar again. So I'm glad he's at least back to voice him because there was an interview he did where he's like, "I'm done. I'm never going to touch him again." I'm like, "God, it's kind of sad, dude." But I'm glad he's back in some aspect.
Well, all of the stuff, I mean, toxic Star Wars fans,
Yep.
not necessarily something we want to bring up, but it exists. And be better, everybody. But, so if you could have a Star Wars tattoo, what would
Yes.
it be?
Well, it's already planned. So I have
Cool.
two. I'm waiting for. We're getting. This is such a. It's so dumb, actually. So the first one I was going to get was a stormtrooper hand holding a ring, and it says, "Look, sir, droids," which is from A New Hope. He's there combing the desert. "Look, sir, droids," and then it just cuts away. And it's just such a random line. I loved it growing up. It's so funny. So that was my first idea, but then recently, I've decided that me and my two buddies are going to get matching tattoos. Of it's Star Wars adjacent, I guess.
Okay.
Of a Lego mini kit from the Star Wars Lego games. We're gonna get a little mini kit, and we're gonna get it on our butt cheek because now. But hear me out.
What?
Hear me out. Hear me out. They're supposed to be hidden. You're supposed to. They're not supposed to be so obvious. They're a secret collectible from the Lego Star Wars video game. Right? It makes sense when you think about it.
That is easily the most creative tattoo idea I've ever heard.
I don't know.
That's
anyone,
hilarious.
I don't even think I'm going to tell people. But also, they're never going to find out because they're never going to look at me change clothes. That doesn't happen. I'm not like hanging out at the YMCA. I don't go to saunas and stuff. Like I don't. So it's in the plans. I'm waiting for my buddy to come down from Seattle. We'll get it all booked in, and they're gonna get a Lego tattoo on our butt. So
That's fantastic.
it's
Well, are y'all? I guess Are
yeah.
y'all gonna get it on the same cheek?
I don't know. I think it's up to each individual person. Mine's left personally, so if anyone needs to know that in the future, you can ask me next time you see me in person.
That is awesome. I have to give you congratulations. That is easily the most. That is the most unique answer we've ever heard. I think we've heard like Binary Sunset like 10
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
no
no.
like on that. Fantastic
No.
moment.
That's why
But,
like my first idea was I like the idea of like something so unique that no one will know unless you know. Like the Look Sir Droid one. It's just like if you know it, you're like nice. And I love that kind of thing. Like I love wearing shirts that are like references to things like no one saw. Like I love buying like YouTuber shirts that's like about one joke they made. And if you know it, you know it. And I love that like
Yeah.
they're like, hey. Like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
That's I definitely, and I don't do tattoo. I don't have any tattoos. It's kind of a crazy first tattoo, but but kind
It really
of not.
is.
If you think about it, it's kind of not because it's not visible. Like it'd be crazy.
It's
to get,
true.
Like, it'd be crazy to get like a whole sleeve of like Darth Vader or like a lightsaber on my forearm. That's my first tattoo. If you think about it, I think about these things. I think about these things.
That derailed me completely. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
dude.
I have to give you credit. That's hilarious. The butt cheek Lego mini kit.
It's a hidden. Yeah, it's like how do I describe this to people that don't know what this is? Like, oh, you got a tattoo? It's like, yeah, it's a hidden collectible in Star Wars: The Complete Saga. So you have to find it. You don't know where it is on me, but but please also don't try to find it.
But also don't. That's fantastic. Well, all right, man. So hard pivot.
Sure.
So I might know your answer to this question based
Okay.
off what you said earlier. But if you had to pick one, what's
Okay.
your favorite Star Wars story?
There's so many stories. I think realistically, I'm gonna go more unique and not in the movies. I'm gonna go outside the movies just because I have to.
Okay.
I have to go what is it called? Shoot, it's like it's the last set of books in the Star Wars old canon. In the extended
Fate
universe.
of the Jedi?
Fate of the Jedi.
Cool.
So weirdly enough, it's the first series I read besides the Thrawn trilogy outside of the movies. And the Fate of the Jedi, just Luke getting expelled from the Jedi Order and taking his son and going exploring the galaxy and seeing all these other new force powers. So like, yeah, him and his son, they explore the galaxy, tracing his nephew's steps, seeing all these crazy force powers. And that's what I've pitched this to all my friends. I'm like, this would be the best Star Wars movie. Like if we're getting a Rey movie, it should be Rey exploring the galaxy, finding new force powers, and like making a little team. Like she gets this one dude and like this alien guy, and he has a new force power, and they teach each other, and they go and like then they find like a Sith or something. That would just be, and like make it a trilogy. Don't do a standalone movie. It's too small. It's too tiny. Expand it and have more characters. Don't just be Rey. Like I would. It's just so cool. I just want more force. I just want them to use the force. Use force speed. Use force throw. Like I don't even care what you do. Just use the force more.
Yeah.
All I want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's funny. I just read the first book of that series for the first time.
Yes.
Like a month or so ago, because I've never actually read it, and
Yeah.
we're all pretty certain that Abeloth is going to show up in Ahsoka season 2, and I want to know the actual like history of the character from Legends and not just off of memes and Wikipedia.
Yep.
But I read the first book and I liked it.
It's good.
I liked it a lot. And I heard it gets better from there.
Yeah, I did them all in audiobooks. Yeah, I was in a gas station. It's before I was like back into Star Wars. I went through a phase where I kind of stopped getting into Star Wars for a minute in my life. I was like, I gotta grow up. Anyways, it was such a sad part of my life. It's the worst. I moved out. I got a job. I graduated. Went to college. Moved out on my own. I'm like, I should get rid of these Star Wars books and stuff. This is kind of lame. And like, I was like, I got to be an adult. I got to have a job. I was like 19 years old, dude. I've had the jobs. I've had this job for 10 years. Anyways, I was 19, and then I was like, I was at a gas station and saw a Star Wars audiobook. I'm like, I'm doing an hour commute to and from, 2 hours a day. Like, I should do this. And it's the best narrator of Star Wars, Mark Thompson.
Easy. Legend.
I cannot listen to a Star Wars audiobook without him. Yeah. He sounds such like the characters. It's honestly. Anyways, Mark Thompson. I'll get him on here too someday. I'll interview him.
That's the dream. Yeah. Well, and he's a like for sure dyed in the wool fan as well.
Yeah.
Like he cosplays at like every con that he goes to
He's
and
the
stuff.
best.
We just listened to Heir to the Empire as well, because I've read that book probably 5-6 times, but my co-host hadn't, and I had forgotten the part of that audiobook where Mark Thompson has to perform a Wookiee speaking basic. It broke me.
It's so
that
good.
guy is a legend. It is so funny and so strange, and it's like I can't imagine that day in the booth having to go, okay, I need to come up with a Wookiee speaking voice. It was so funny.
He's
so funny.
Committed, and I love it. He's the best. He's the best.
Yeah, he is for sure. But all right, so to sum up all of this, which is impossible, but if you could, What does Star Wars mean to you?
Not much. No, I'm not even kidding. So, like, I'm not a very sentimental person. I'm not into like meanings or like things like I don't know, like I don't hold things I'm not very materialistic. Like, I love my stuff. I don't want to get rid of my Jar Jar Binks. But like in the end, if I didn't have Star Wars tomorrow, I would be fine, and it would be fine. Like, I'm not like Star Wars isn't my life, but my life is Star Wars, if that makes sense. I've decided to make it Star Wars. But like, I'm not the kind of guy, I don't talk about Star Wars outside of my social media. I'm not like, it's not my life. But also like, has it? I mean, it's affected me. Obviously, it's been my life forever. But this is such a roundabout way to say this. But like, in the end, has it changed my life on the day-to-day basis? Not that much. Besides the Jar Jar Binks in my room, but it's great. I love Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. Do I think it's some of the best movies in the world? Yes. Do I think they are standalone the best movies in the world? No. Do I think there's better movies? For sure. Do I love? But like, and that's the thing with Star Wars. I've watched more behind the scenes, and I almost love the creators of Star Wars more than actors and the movies. Like, I love what has come out of Star Wars. So like John Knoll, like the guy that does like ILM, and like George Lucas, like he's the only role model, not role model, but like he's the only celebrity I actually care about, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really care what celebrities do, but like George Lucas, like I love to listen to what he has to say. I love what he did with Star Wars. I love that he just made movies he wanted to make, even though people said he shouldn't do it. Like, there's something about like that has affected me. George Lucas has affected me more than Star Wars has affected me. So like, George Lucas means a ton to me, and I've been a George Lucas stan forever. And like all those guys, like all the guys on like the creator team, and like the sword fighting guy, like I can't remember their names on top of my head, but like all those dudes, they have been impactful in my life, and they mean a lot to me. But not the movies themselves, like the morals and stuff in the movies. It's more about like George Lucas's morals and the things he says, and like there's a line that's my favorite line of George Lucas ever said. He's in the behind the scenes of episode 1, and he tells his producer, he said, "Hey, go get on the phone and get me money so I can make my movie." Because he was making his movie. He wasn't a Hollywood guy because like now people come in like, I have to make a Star Wars movie. He was just making a movie. And I love that about George. He just wanted to make what he wanted to make. Yes, he changed some when fans did things he didn't like, and he changed some stuff. But like, he still did stuff. He put Jar Jar in it. He did what he wanted to do, and that has been more impactful in my life than like the actual films themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense, and that's a very healthy way to be.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, all the accomplishments of George Lucas, like, I don't want to say that Star Wars is the smallest one, but it's not like digital filmmaking, George. Nonlinear editing, George. Pixar, George. CGI, basically George. The list goes on and on and on and on. But like you said, John Knoll just casually invented Photoshop.
Yeah, dude, because he needed it. Because he needed a program.
Yeah, like just casual,
Insane.
no big deal. I'll just create Photoshop in like my
brother.
spare time. So yeah, that's hitting me where I live. Just speaking of Star Wars creators, we went to Rebel ScumCon a couple weeks ago here in Texas, which just I tell everybody I can, come next year. If you can, it is awesome. But they had David Collins there. He did the soundtrack show live, and it was all about Star Wars Episode 1, actually. But the first half, he talked about everything that George Lucas and John Williams accomplished between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace that had nothing to do with Star Wars. I knew about a lot of it, but there were other things that were just brand new. It's everything that you're saying. The people that created this franchise are some of the most influential people in just kind of like Western entertainment.
Yep.
You know?
100%. 100%. That's why I'm so excited for 2026, the George Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, or whatever it's called. I'm really gunning to go to the opening day. We'll see. I don't know if I'm honestly, I'm gunning for an invite. I'm gunning for an invite for anything, but I'm really I'm thinking that's gonna be I do one Star Wars trip a year. I think that might be my Star Wars trip is to the George Lucas Museum, and I think it's gonna be so cool.
Is it going to open 2026 or 2027?
2026 is when it's. I mean, originally it was slated for 2023, but right now the articles, he was just in Comic-Con. 2026 is the date they're shooting for. I don't know when. I'm guessing May because that's his birthday, but I'm guessing that's around when it's going to be. So that's what I'm shooting for. I really want to go, not just for the Star Wars stuff, just for like George Lucas and all other stuff he does. Like I love his other movies. Like I've seen all of them. American Graffiti, cool movie.
Yeah. Well, so thoughts on THX 1138?
It's great. I mean, granted, I think I haven't technically seen the original. I think I always end up downloading the remake because he did a couple more special effects. But like it's cool. It's such a unique storytelling, and you can see that like obviously you see where he came up with Star Wars after that. Like he had a lot of the sound effects that were the same and like similar vibes of Star Wars. No, it was so, especially for the time, right? Like it was such a different film than anyone was making. Like it was such a unique story, and I don't know. And it's cool to see big name actresses and actors and stuff way back in the day. But then like American Graffiti, I feel like is super underrated because like my favorite part is all the music is in universe, like in world. Mm-hmm. Right? Like so, like there's no soundtrack. It's just like they happen to be walking by a music thing, and it's like all ambient, and I love that. Yeah, George Lucas, he's the best.
Yeah, I love that movie. That movie was big for me. I discovered it in late high school. And if you haven't watched American Graffiti, everybody, go check that movie out. It's about how you move on after high school.
Yeah.
And then I watched the sequel, and it made me sad.
Yeah.
More American Graffiti is not the happy romp that the first one is.
Yes.
Well, right on, man. Awesome. We both are big fans of George Lucas, but okay. So now it's time. We finished our interview, and it's time to move into some silliness.
Yes.
All right. So it's time for the ridiculous Rathtar random hard trivia question.
Easy.
The idea is it's preposterous. So there are no losers. You either keep some nerd cred or congratulations, you have a life, and there's no shame. I try to dig deep for this. Okay. So if you get it, then awesome. According to George Lucas, what is the home planet of Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Stu John.
Yes. Okay. Do you know where that comes from?
Yes, it's from what Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, that's his name.
Yes.
Late night show host or whatever they did. He's like he just came up with it on the fly. Yeah, he's from Stu John.
Yeah,
Kenobi. It's Stu John.
Yeah, the Celebration 5, and Jon Stewart's talking about how
that's what it was. Yeah.
Obi-Wan was his favorite because George came to Celebration for like the first time. I think this was 2005. Yeah. And he goes, just where's my favorite character Obi-Wan from? And George takes a moment and goes, he's from Stu John. And he's like, you can't make it up in front of me. And anyway,
that's what it is. That's for sure.
And then they rolled with that in the wider canon, which I just thought was hilarious. Okay, man. All right, we got one more game that we like to play here on the show. It'll be nice and, reasonably short. Okay. So, are you a sports person, like, at all?
Almost.
Cool. Well, fantastic. It'll make this game more fun.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to play based on the name. Okay. Is that a background Star Wars character or a professional athlete?
Got it.
Okay, so coming up first.
Yes.
Therm Scissor Punch.
We'll go. We'll go Star Wars.
Definitely Star Wars.
Okay.
Definitely Star Wars. One of the Savak players in Solo.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe it was like a not MMA but like WWE.
Yeah.
I was like, does that count as sports to you?
Yeah.
Because that could totally be
all
Scissor
of
Punch.
All of these will be actual, like they're given names.
Got it.
But can you imagine if there's a human being named Therm Scissor Punch?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I mean, hey, but if there are any Therm Scissor Punches walking around, let us know. But okay, all right. So actual names.
Got it.
D.D. Gregorius.
D.D. That's probably an athlete.
Yes, former shortstop, Major League Baseball.
Nice.
Okay. Cal Clutterbuck.
Well, I'm gonna go athlete again.
Yes, that is NHL. It plays a right wing. Okay. Tuukka Rask.
Okay, Tuukka Rask. Rask feels very Star Wars. So I'm gonna go with Star Wars.
He's actually the goalie for the Boston Bruins. Tuukka Rask. Okay. Zan Tabak.
Well, now you're just making up. Now it's just Now it sounds like Sabak and Zam Wessel. Okay, I mean, but you haven't done another Star Wars one. Now I'm like second guessing myself. You're doing like the test thing where you keep doing. We'll go real life.
You got it. He was a NBA center and coach for a very long time. I was. Okay, last one. Zemgus Girgensons.
Well, Girgensons, that's real. I know him. He's from Star Wars. He's my second favorite background character.
He plays hockey right now for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's a forward.
Dirty. You got me.
I was looking up just random things, and I was like, oh my gosh, all these names are wild, and they all sound like they're from Star Wars. This is going to be a game at some point. So there you go.
You got
Star
me.
Wars character, professional athlete. After Thurm Scissor Punch, all real people that exist. Just sound like Star Wars names.
Yep. Dirty.
That was awesome. It was. Thanks for playing, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, so thanks for coming on the show, dude.
Yes.
This was awesome. Let the people know where they can find you, where they can find your stuff.
Yeah, so Instagram, I'm just updated my name, so it's just at Memeobi, which is just like the word meme and then Obi, like Kenobi. And then I have a podcast which is called Memeobi's Galaxy, a Star Wars podcast, which we're on all the major platforms and YouTube, where me and my co-host, we do interviews with people. We talk about Star Wars. Recently, my newest episode, probably around when this one comes out, I have on Ross Speedman, who played the kid who played Master Skywalker. There's too many of them. What are we going to do? We're friends in real life. I met him at Comic-Con, and we chat on the side. So I had him on, talked about his experience on Star Wars, talked about his experience with cons and people stalking him and weird experiences he's had. So if you're listening, you should go check that out if you like podcasts about Star Wars. That's my plug. But yeah, I post memes and reels and the whole bit.
Right on. Go check out his stuff. It is some of the funniest meme collections I've discovered. It just showed up on Instagram one day, and I was like, oh, this guy's funny. Yep. I commented on something I don't remember, and you were like, hey, I'd love to come on the show. And I was like, oh, great. Easy. So cool, man. Yep. I really appreciate it. This was awesome. Thanks for sharing your unique perspective. The force of others will be with you, and I'm going to send it back to me and Zach. And we're back. Good interview, good dude, good time. Go check out Memeobi's Galaxy. Keep checking us out. But check out them as well. Spread the love. His interview with Ross Speedman is out now. Cool. So that's cool. But anyway, Zach, let the people know how they can get involved with what they just watched or listened to.
Yeah, a big thank you again to Memeobi for coming on the show. I was not at the interview, but I really appreciate you being on. If you would like to be on the show or get involved with what we're doing, email us, forceofothersradio@gmail.com. Get into the comments, message us on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, whatever. We're there. Get involved. We're about you. We want to hear from you and your perspectives. That is what we're all about. Otherwise, hit the notification bell, subscribe. I know it's silly, but it really helps the channel. And it will help you know when we have new stuff, which is every Friday. We got a lot of stuff coming out. We got some D&D stuff. We got some interviews coming that are really cool. But yeah, if you want to get involved, email us, interact with us, and keep on listening because we're going to bring you some really cool stuff. Anything else before I send us out, Matt?
I want to give a shout out. We are still in many ways a very small podcast, but we are at over 800 subscribers now on YouTube. Woo-hoo. So I'm going to do an ask of our audience. Spread this show around, man. I'm proud of what we do. I think it's fun. I think it's positive. I think it's funny at times. But if you got nerdy friends, let them know about us, man. And watch the show on YouTube. Watch it on whatever. We have not plenty. We got a lot of subscribers now, but our watch hours are not where I would like them to be. So if you're subscribed, watch our stuff, dog. But, yeah, a lot of fun things coming, including Batman Day.
Yeah, we're going to do a Force of Others stuff. And
we've done Big Blue. It's time to do the Big Bat.
The Dark Knight.
There you go. Yeah, and I was trying to go off of Superman Big Blue. Anyway, that's coming in the future. But remember, like Zach said, we are not the force of others. You are the force of others. Oh, and I got this is a cringy thing to say, but before you send us out, you want to know the one thing that for sure isn't in Starfighter, but it's on our show?
What?
The like and subscribe button.
Ah. Boo.
I hate
I
myself.
think you're
Zach-
going to say you and me.
No, I was doing the dumb like and subscribe thing that you have to do on this YouTube. But send them out, dude.
Yeah. And remember, the force of others will be with you.
Always.
The force of others. A Star Wars. It's a very quick one.
That's a weird one.